so I'm just gonna explain to you this dollar yen trade long. Um,
Okay.
I'm doing this a bit differently. I'm doing this with someone, one on one. I'm not sure if you can hear their audio, but it's just I do a bit of I help certain people out with trades, help them develop. It's like a little project of mine. So I'm just gonna break down this trade for them, and I'm recording it as I do. So I've been looking at dollar yen. I tried to
Yep.
short it today. So today we had I looked at this block here, right? So I'm gonna try this time. I'm gonna start with a smaller time frame. So I was looking at this, right, and I do this to check out the flow. Is the bearish blocks getting respected or the bullish ones? And then I
Okay.
seen this here, right? So I thought earlier on Twitter I posted a chart marking at this level here, and I thought,
Yeah.
okay, how is this level gonna hold? Um, I was wanting weakness before I shorted it. I had no weakness. It went above it, and then the way it was looking to be, you know, shorting, it
Mm.
didn't give me a short opportunity. Then I tried to long it. I mean, time of day didn't allow me to, but it fell down. So it just shows to me, the short's not working well, so no other longs. But that sometimes happens. So what I do is I clear all my chart and start from the beginning again. Now overall, I can see price is
Okay.
struggling to go down. Are you with me? So
I am. Yeah. So far,
when I
yeah.
try to short it, right, it just doesn't seem to want to go down. Okay, so sometimes it gives me more clarity if I just start from the beginning again. So I'm looking at I'm going to start off with the dollar and then we go back to the dollar yen. So with the
Okay.
dollar index, um, look what price has done. So it's in a range at the moment, right? It's in a range like between this level I've marked out here and this low here. And ideally I wanted this low to give in, but it's struggling to do that. And what's going on with the euro at the moment? It seems to be some sort of top in place for a retracement at
Right.
least. Okay, so if you look at the euro, um, so let me just clear this euro chart. It's not wanting to go higher, and the way it's looking weak to me. We took out these stops here on the euro,
Yeah.
and I thought, okay, we'll get a move up. So we've got the
So
initial
there's a bit of a support level there that
exactly.
you.
We've got a
Okay.
support level, but look what's happening. So we've come down, we've taken out these stops, and I thought, okay, we're gonna rip up. But normally, if we see one side of the range go, then obviously, if it's gonna continue up, it should have done it by now. But look at heavy prices; it's still hanging about here. That's like a big warning sign to me. So I'll go back and say, okay, what's been happening overall? We can see that if you look at this here, right? This is a
Yeah.
breaker that led to
I see. Yeah.
the move up. So this took out the stops here, right?
Right.
It's come down, then gone back up, found resistance there, sold off, took out the stops. So if this was a legitimate stop rate, right, then I would have
Yeah.
expected price to be much higher because this stop rate happened, around London Open or just after London Open. So why hasn't it gone up?
Okay.
That is telling me that most likely it wants to go lower. So if it's gonna go lower, I mean, we've got, I spoke about this support level previously to you around here,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
But I don't believe this is gonna hold. I think we're going to go a lot lower. Looking at all the other euro crosses, they're looking weak as well. So I believe we're going to want to take out these lows here.
So you reckon they're hunting them
Yeah,
next?
yeah. So I think if we get some sort of movement like this, we're below this again.
Mm-hmm.
If we start making our way below this low again, that's it. I think it's game over. I don't think they're going to want to stop here. It makes more sense for it to just go lower. And if we're going to go lower, we're going to fill all this in. I think a deeper retrace. I think too many people are long this euro, and I think
Yeah.
it's time for a retracement,
So
correction.
then it'll use that support level that you marked out as resistance then, as you taught me before.
Yes, so and then in future
Right.
this would be used as a block here.
Ah, okay,
Okay,
okay. Yes.
so going forward, I mean, let's go back to the dollar. Now I spoke about this dollar level to you here, and it was this here. See that there?
Yeah.
And I said
Yes.
if we go above that, then I'm bullish. But look how many times we keep going back up there. On the
Yeah.
daily basis, we came down and we took out this low here, right? We took out previous
Right.
day's low. We closed above. Where the stop's gonna be resting above that high
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Another thing I've told you is when the price keeps going back to a certain level, it's most likely going to want to take that out. And we've got clear stops resting here, right? So the next area stop's going to be down here. So I believe this is bottomed out and we're going to possibly if assuming this is the low, I think we're going to push up because we've taken out the stops from the previous day.
Yeah.
It makes more sense to push up now. What would negate the long idea on the dollar would be if we took out this low, then I think if it's going to go below here, then we're going to continue all the way down. That's what I think is going to happen. So going forward, I'm going to look for other pairs that are going to support my idea. One pair that supports it is the dollar Swiss. So if I go to the dollar
Right. Dollar
Swiss,
Swiss. Yeah.
I'll come back to the dollar yen, but I'm going to go to the dollar Swiss first. Now,
Okay.
where's my dollar Swiss chart? Dollar Swiss here, right? So if you look at the dollar Swiss, right, this has technically been a lot more clearer. So we've got support here in this block here. We came down, found support again, and then we're pushing up. Now it keeps pushing up. It's struggling to go down. When it struggles to go down, that's like a big warning sign. Okay, so
Right.
let's look at what's been happening on lower time frames. So this is the accumulation area here. This sort of price action here. Okay. On the H1, if you go to the H1 today, what did we have? We had price coming to 50% of this block here, as I marked out earlier.
Oh, so you got marked out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
And then it's pushed up. I think this is broken structure high. Next stops are going to be resting down here, and then we're going to fill this void in or inefficient move. So I'm using this dollar Swiss as an example to give me more clarity of what's more likely to happen in the dollar. So if we're looking at all the majors, what's most likely going to happen? Okay, so at the moment as it stands, this is looking bullish to me. Another thing I look at is gold. If we look at gold,
Yeah.
gold, just by looking at it, I mean, it's struggling to go higher. I think this fast move up here was just a stop rate for here, and I believe this is ready to push lower now.
So whenever you see these fast moves, like you call them inefficient moves, the ones up, what does that normally indicate to you then?
Well, there's two things. Like I mean, one of them is if it's a fast move and takes out a high and then rejects, then you know
Yeah.
that's a clear stop rate. You know, a
Ah,
fast move up,
okay.
you know, it gets people long. So I posed a scenario where I wanted this block here to hold. If this block held, then we would have been bullish. But it's broken now. So what does that mean? Now it tells me this was a stop rate. So what
Yeah.
I'll do is I'll be watching this this sort of price action here, and I'm saying the way it's looking, because it's broken that down and the bullish blocks or the supports are not holding. If they're not holding, then that means this wants to go down, and where it's gonna, I believe we're gonna go down to here. We've got a bit of a void here to fill in.
Yeah.
So that's another pair that's supporting dollar bullishness to me. Okay.
Ah, okay. Yes.
And if we
Yes.
go down, then you know, I think we're gonna go a lot lower. And if I scrunch this chart up, this is starting to look like a bear flag here.
Right. A bear flag.
It's not the
Okay.
cleanest, but okay. So gold, if gold goes down, dollar yen usually goes up. That's, you know, that's
Is
just the
that
way
how
it
they
is.
work?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if this is going down, I've got dollar Swiss
Yeah.
bullishness. I've got gold bullishness. Um, Euro I spoke about. Now let's look
Yeah.
at cable as well. Cable, I did a video explaining, you know, bearishness and bullishness on cable, but
I've seen that video.
it's
Yeah.
refusing to go up. Now let's look at where it topped out. If I draw 50% of this block here, it comes
Right,
down
it's
here.
gone right into it, hasn't it?
Yep. So if you've got that there,
So that's really respected it then
so
on the
this
higher
is,
time
yeah,
frame that you talk about.
exactly. So the way it's looking to me, Euro GBP is saying to me that it wants to
Hmm.
go lower. So that would mean euro should be weaker than cable if I'm expecting dollar bullishness. So there's two scenarios that could unfold on cable if I'm correct on dollar bullishness. They hold cable and just let the euro drop, which is making more sense to me, or euro just falls faster than cable. Okay,
Right.
so cable's
Yes,
meant to have an
yes.
objective, you know, of filling in this gap here, this void
Hmm.
here. It's coming to this block here, and this is the 50% of the daily bullish block. So if I was going to short, if I was going to long the dollar, I'd rather do it through the euro than cable.
Yes,
Okay, I
yes.
still think cable can go down, and we've got this we've got stops resting below here, and then if the dollar's really gonna rally, then obviously cable's gonna fall as well eventually, and we've got all this gap to fill in. Okay, so this brings
Okay.
us back to the dollar yen. So I'm just looking at these other pairs just to support a dollar yen or a dollar bullish idea, and why I
Yeah.
think dollar yen is going to be the big ripper this week. I mean, well, tomorrow. So
So Friday. So we have to look out for Friday for a potential
yeah, I mean,
rip up.
I think it's going to start moving to Asia, and this pattern I've seen before. If you look at my dollar yen long from 2015, I can't remember what month it was. The same pattern is unfolding again. I just remember certain patterns, especially in dollar yen. Now let's look where dollar yen has bottomed out from. Now we've cleared our charts, so we've got the high here on the
Yeah.
dollar, this block here, right? So we got 112.922, 112.922. Okay, we've got
Yeah.
that. We've also got, so it's come down, and I was expecting this low to give in, but like I said, when price is struggling to go down, every time I try short it, it doesn't go down, it pushes back up. It's pushing back up because there's fucking buyers stepping in. So I'm gonna give up on the long shorts and look for an argument to support a long case.
So what I've seen here, yeah, often you're going to you sort of taught us that going to a higher time frame, you've highlighted the daily block, you've
Yeah,
then gone into an hourly block to break it down further.
yeah. So
That's right, yeah?
yeah. So the reason why
Yeah.
I've marked out the daily is because it's the daily and weekly, higher time frame levels that are gonna give us the big moves. So
Right, right.
if I didn't have this line, I'm thinking where's this bouncing off of from here? There's a bit of support here,
Yes.
but it supports it. They're using this block again. Not only that, if we go into the weekly, that was previous week. I mean this week's high. So we've come down into this week's high.
Okay.
I mean into not last week, the previous week's high.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
So I'm just gonna do one more thing. Let me just see the lines up as confluence. Okay, yeah. So at the moment, this is a bearish candle, and we've had a bullish candle, bullish, 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 bullish. We've taken out this high, but it's only been by a few ticks. So on a daily chart, I think we're gonna go a lot higher. So, but at the moment, if this is, I mean, Dalian is one of those players that can pull off some crazy moves. 100, 200 pips in a
Mm.
day, easy.
In
Just all
just
of
a
a
day.
sudden, it can start off in
Volatility.
Asia and just continue going up. So I'm gonna mark out the weekly open, right? So the open
Okay.
of this week is 113.969,
Okay. 6-9.
113.969, and I'm just gonna do it in a different color. So
Okay, yeah, so it stands out. Yeah.
yeah,
Got yeah.
so just so we know what we're dealing with. Okay, if this is going to close as a bullish candle, everything
Mm-hmm.
under here is accumulation, right? Those that are short this week, all week, their stops are going to be resting here.
Above it, that's
Yeah,
right.
and on
That's
the
it.
higher time frame, if we're expecting bullish dollar, then this is a easy stops here. I mean, if even if they're going to push this market down, it would make more sense to me
To,
for them to
to take
take
them
out
out
these
first.
stops here. Big
Right.
stops are resting here. Look how clean that is. When
That,
they were
yeah.
pushing this market down, they didn't really test these stops much. I mean, the way I like to see price,
Mm-hmm.
a serious raid through this would be needed. So although they've taken stops out from here, but look at it's not breaking down. It's refusing to break down. It's pushing
Yes.
up, and not only that, dollar yen has taken out yesterday's low and it closed back up, which shows the next stops are gonna be resting above yesterday's high. Okay, so
Okay.
we're gonna just mark that out as well. So we're breaking it down. That's how we're working. So the high here is 113.80. So that would be my target one if I go long. 113.80. If
All
I was
right.
to
And
do
you've
that.
marked that out in the daily then?
Yeah,
That's
yeah. So
obviously
it
yeah.
removes the noise from the lower time frames. Just removes the noise. If we just work with the daily, lower time frame should only be used for entries, in my opinion, or if you're scalping. But
Right.
if we're looking for a decent sized move, then we work with the daily and then refine it down with the lower time frames. So
Do you need a bigger stop if you're working on the daily, or is it something you refine in the lower time frames?
now if you trade on the daily charts only, then obviously you're going to rely the stop. So if we can break it down from the higher time frame to the lower time frame,
Yeah.
then we can get tighter stops and better risk to reward.
Right.
So
Okay.
I've marked out this high here. There's the stops resting. What
Yeah.
other reasons are there to push up? If we go into the 30-minute chart, I mean, this could be the bottom of a buy model here. This
Okay.
could
The
be like a
shape of
buy
it.
model.
Okay.
See that shape there? So
Yeah.
the stops ideally would be resting at the high here. Okay, so they were selling, 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 selling all week in order for a big push up, right? So like a massive move up. I'm expecting tomorrow. Now we need drivers. Tomorrow we've got some US news coming out, so I think that could drive it, and that would mean 190 p.m. Yes, Dalian can easily do that. You know, they can do that in
And
Asia.
that's possible in one day for the dollar yen, like you were
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, of course. So,
No.
and if I'm expecting gold to push down as well, then this supports my idea. So I think the low is in now. Now let's break this down further. So are you clear with the higher time frame?
I am now, yeah. You've worked
Okay.
on the high time frame, you've marked out certain levels, and then you've gone to the lower time frame
Yeah.
to
So
build up the story.
first we built up a case for the dollar longs through
Hmm.
dollar Swiss, euro dollar, cable, gold. Okay, we've just built up. You know, if a few majors lining, if one pair is not lining, unclear. Let's look at all the other pairs. What are they saying? Okay,
Yeah,
so far so good. So on the H4, so H4 is not really too clear to me, but it just
right.
looks like a bottom is in.
Yeah,
Um, H1, I've spoken about these accumulations to you before, where if we look at this here,
yeah. Accumulation before you've
yeah,
said
yeah.
accumulation before the
So
big
it's
move up.
so look carefully here. So I'll do this in a different color. So
Yeah,
say lavender, right? So we've got this here. Here, this accumulation, the consolidation led to the big move up, right? The rally
yeah,
away. Okay. Now when I tried to short this, it didn't. Say if we were short, it didn't really want to move down. It's finding support. And if you, for a case, for a bullish scenario, you want to see all the bullish blocks start being respected once it comes off your higher time frame level. So we've had a stop rate into a key higher time frame level. Then we've had this accumulation rip up. Okay,
yeah.
let's drag this right across. See this accumulation here. Now they're finding support there. Now if we refine this further, what's this here? We've got an order block just there, right?
Right.
So I don't want to see this go below here. So say we were to go long here at
Yeah.
market, I could have a stop here under there.
So how tight is that stop that you put there then?
So we'll just say from current market, right? I'm entering,
Yeah.
right? It's 18 ticks just from current
Oh,
market if you was to
that's
enter here,
hardly anything.
and then but it's all about risk to reward.
What's
My
your reward
target's
from that
big,
then?
so I would be targeting here. So that's 118 ticks. So let's call that about
Wow.
5 hours. Call it a 20 tick stop and 120 pip target. That's 6 hours. Sorry, okay, 6 hour. Okay.
So I'm risking little in comparison to
So if
what I
I
could
was to
possibly get.
enter here, right? So let's do this. If I was to enter here, I've already entered it long. I've shown him on my Twitter.
Yeah.
Um, then I'd be looking for. Let's do this. Let's just work this out.
Okay.
So one are there, two are there, three, four, five. Let's call it a 6 hour. These are minimum targets. I think it's
That's
gonna go a lot higher, but I'm
incredible.
done. I would be done
Risking
right down
such a
here.
small amount to
Yeah.
possibly make that.
So what we do is, but the main thing is, do you
Yeah.
understand what I'm going through?
Yes.
Okay. Another thing is, right. If you want to break it down further,
Mm.
so we've got that there. We've explained. Um, we've got this here. See, lower time frame wise, right?
What's that there then?
Let's look at this. See this here. This block here led to the move
Right.
down, which took out this low here. We've got resistance, 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 resistance. Now it's found support here.
Support.
So this is confirming it. I'm still maybe more comfortable putting a stop here, but you can technically put a stop under there really. But I'm not gonna go into that tight stop just yet. I'll have the six
How
hour.
did you see that then? That block that you just
So well,
highlighted?
it's just practice. It's just practice. So you're still new to
Okay.
this, you see. So you're still getting there. You still got a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah.
would have not seen that, but
You just gotta
okay.
train your eye. We're in Asia technically, and when it starts going to about 11 o'clock UK time, I start looking for setups, and then it's looking to me starting breakout. It's looking prime to me. This pattern I've seen here usually leads to a big move up. It's a 5 minute pattern that
Hmm.
when the day if it lines up with the daily, it really works well. I'll explain that to you. I'll show you examples of it later on.
Okay.
Um, it's just a little nuance I've noticed with the dollar yen. Certain behaviors of the dollar yen, it really leads to moves up. So we can see now it's starting to push up. Um,
Right.
okay, so we've got that there. Um, so you can use each daily high as targets. It depends on how you want to do it. You take it as you wish. So we've got
What
high
was
of day.
a sensible target to have then? Like,
What I would just I would just go with what the dollar's doing. For me,
Okay.
technically, this is not a scalp. It's a position trade, not position trade, but it's like a swing trade,
Yeah.
intraday, whatever
Yeah.
you want to call it. But I'm aiming for here anyway, right? I'm expecting
Okay.
a dollar bullishness, and I'm aiming for here. As price unfolds, I'll manage it according to what price is doing, and I'll trail my stop as swing lows are formed, and new blocks are formed. I'll
Hmm.
trail my stop like that as well. So there's different ways. We'll go into trade management later on. But for
Okay. Yeah.
now,
That's one
but
thing that
for
I
now,
want to
let's
know is
just
trade management. Yeah.
let's the main thing to take from this is why I've entered this trade,
Yep.
my reasoning behind it. Okay, so
Fantastic.
that's a 6 hour trade there. Setup. So yeah, I've explained the entry, why
Yep.
of the high time frame, and I'm looking for this move up here. Looking at the daily, uh,
Yes.
the target one at least, even if you just short term trading, it would be at least here. So that's from where I've just marked at the entry.
Hmm.
Um, that's at least 50 ticks. So 20 ticks,
Wow.
stop 50 ticks. That's 2.5 hour, not bad. So it's
That's
just
very good.
varies. So targets, we'll ignore targets for. I mean, how I would manage it for now. Just
Okay.
I'm just going through this setup to you, breaking down the trade idea to you. That's all you need to take from it for now. Okay. So that's
Okay.
my target. Let's see how we'll come back tomorrow. We'll see how it's
Unfolds
unfolded
on this
by
one.
tomorrow. Okay. It's quick, brief, but we'll go into detail later on. Okay.
Thank you very
So
much.
okay,
I
let me
really
just stop
appreciate
there.
that. Thanks for your time.